This is Love Notes, daily devotions from Holy Trinity Lutheran Church. Grace and peace to you. Our text today is 1 Corinthians, the 3rd chapter, verses 5 through 9. Paul has just told the Corinthians that they're not ready to have any more meat in their diet, spiritually speaking, because they're not manifesting the most basic of Christian principles. They are not unified. They are not loving one another, and they are not emulating Christ in their lives. And now he continues on using the metaphor and putting into proper place what it is that he and Apollos and everybody else has been doing. The Corinthians have said, well, I like Apollos better and I like Paul better. Paul asks them, what then is Apollos? What then is Paul? What's Cephas? And then he answers the question, servants. They are means of spiritual grace. They serve God and so therefore benefit the Corinthians. These are not super apostles. These are not great teachers to be honored in and of themselves, for the only one that receives honor is Christ. They are servants through whom you came to believe, as the Lord assigned to each. The Lord called Apollos, the Lord called Paul, the Lord called all the apostles, and it is the Lord that is at the center of the proclamation and the teaching. Paul then turns to this agricultural metaphor. I planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the growth. And it's a fact of agricultural life. We as humans plant the seeds, we water the seeds, we fertilize, we do the things that we do, but in the end it is God who gives the growth. There's a parable that's terribly frustrating in the Gospel of Mark, which says a man went out and sowed seed in his field. And after he'd sowed it, he slept and woke and slept and woke for days until finally the harvest came, and he knew not how. It's honest. Every farmer will tell you how hard they worked to get the crop in, but when they're honest, every farmer will also tell you it's a miracle every time a harvest is produced. And that's what Paul is trying to say here. Apollos, Paul, it doesn't matter who, they were just servants. Paul's just a servant who threw some seed on the ground, and Apollos watered it, and some fertilizer came in later, but in the end it is God who makes the growth. So neither the one who plants nor the one who waters is anything. You're just servants in the process, but only God who gives the growth. That's the only thing that matters, and that's the one who is in charge. The one who plants and the one who waters, he says, have a common purpose. And that common purpose is not to take the credit. The common purpose is to allow God to do what God will do. The common purpose, in the context of the church, is for the proclamation of Jesus Christ to unify the church together as one, to unify them with one another, and to have them conform to the image of Jesus Christ, which is their true humanity. Each will receive wages, Apollos, Paul. They'll get whatever they need according to the labor that they've given. God's servants are not ignored, but they also don't get any more of a reward than they deserve, for it is God who gets the glory when the harvest comes. And then he begins to bend this particular metaphor just a little bit and says, you are God's field. You are God's building. And he's setting up to talk about this whole process in another light in the next section. You are God's field. He says that to every congregation and church. And all of the people who are part of the congregation are given to the tasks of planting and watering and fertilizing and waiting to see what God will do and what harvest God will bring. All of it is to the glory of God as it's revealed in Jesus Christ. Amen.